Hey, what's up YouTubers? And welcome back to another Toddy Walnuts Disney VHS Collection Overview video. I did one of these a few months ago, but I have acquired a lot more titles since that last video. And my plan is for now to show you guys everything that I have up to date. And then 1 year from now, I will show you another video to see how much the collection has grown in that amount of time. So in this rack here, or this shelf, these are all the animated movies I have. We're going to go through them shelf by shelf. In this rack over here, on the top shelf, the animation continues, and then below that are the live action Disney movies that I have, which we will also go through shelf by shelf. And at the very end of the video, I'll show you guys the doubles that I have over here in case anybody's interested in trading, or if you want to buy a couple of them, I'll sell them dirt cheap. But I'm hoping to trade those for titles I don't have. So if you see some titles that I don't have, you can either recommend them to me and I'll purchase them somewhere, or you can trade me if you have some that you're willing to trade. So let's kick back and have a chill video. And let's check out my Disney collection. Okay, so the sound may be a little bit different. I'm actually in my basement. I keep the Disney stuff downstairs in my basement. So it may sound a little different, but we'll get through this. The first title is 101 Dalmatians, and this is the Black Diamond Classics Collection. Next one is 101 Dalmatians, the Masterpiece. It's the same movie, just a different cover. You will not find any doubles in this collection. Like I said, all the doubles are off to the side. Here's 101 Dalmatians 2, Patches, London Adventure. You may hear some noises in the background too. The dogs are running up and down the steps. Here is Aladdin. This one's still sealed. This is the Black Diamond Classics Collection. I have Aladdin and the King of Thieves. I'll try not to rush through this so we can enjoy the artwork. And again, I would appreciate it if you guys could suggest titles to me that you see are missing from my collection. And we have the Return of Jafar. Alice in Wonderland, that is the Black Diamond. Here's Alice in Wonderland, the Masterpiece Collection. Same movie, just different covers. American Legends, this one's really good. I really enjoy that one. The Aristocats. Atlantis, the Lost Empire. Here's Bambi. That was the original release, the Black Diamond. And then it was re-released as the Masterpiece Collection, so you can see those side by side. The one on the right is the 55th limited edition, 55th anniversary. Here's Beauty and the Beast, Black Diamond. And here's the Beauty and the Beast Platinum Edition, the same movie, just different covers. Let's see if I can get that without the reflection there. The Platinum Edition, Special Edition, has a bonus musical sequence. And we have the special edition of Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas. And here's the same movie with a different cover. Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas. Oops, I skipped over one here. And these are alphabetized, but I keep the franchises together. So this is still part of Beauty and the Beast, even though it's Belle's Magical World, and it is part of the franchise. So this is called Belle's Magical World, and it's 3 magical storybook adventures. We have a couple editions of Bedknobs and Broomsticks. This was the original release right here. I like that color. That light blue and the pink looks good together. Half animation, half live action. And then here is the Masterpiece Collection. This was released sometime later. This is one of the best covers, I think. I like the way it looks. And it's a pretty good movie, too. The Black Cauldron. Kind of has a foil effect. And I have a couple of the Brave Little Toaster movies. This one is, I'm not sure which one came first, and I don't think this is all of them in the franchise, but the Brave Little Toaster to the Rescue. And the Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars. I think these were pretty much direct to video. I don't remember ever seeing these. I think these were kind of later in the Disney catalog. So that is it. That is shelf 1. So stick around and we will check out shelf 2. Getting into shelf number 2. Slide them down just a little bit to create some space. We have Brother Bear. Kind of new school Disney. And then I have a bunch of the Bugs Life movies. And these are all the same movie, they just have different covers with different characters from the movie. Here's the caterpillar. I don't remember the characters' names for this, but most of these were anywhere from $0.25 a piece to a couple bucks a piece. I'll show you some of them I actually paid some pretty good money for. When I get to those, I'll tell you about those. But these were the 5 that were released with the different characters. That's all that was released. And then they have the gold edition, and it shows kind of an array of the characters. This is the gold collection. It's still sealed. It's kind of rare to find the VHS still sealed. I have a couple of Cinderella. This is the first one here. This is the Black Diamond. And this was the Masterpiece, which was released sometime later. Same movie, just different covers. And kind of new school Disney again. This one's called Cinderella 2 Dreams Come True. Disney's Dinosaur. I had a good time watching this one in the theater years ago. Here's a movie called Doug's First Movie. I don't know much about this one. I don't think I've ever seen it. This was kind of a new school Disney again. I think it was released in the late 90s. think what that was a television show that was on the Disney network, and they made a movie about the show. I think that's what that is. Here's a favorite of mine. I have a double of this one that I'd be willing to trade. This one's kind of hard to find. It's called DuckTales the Movie, Treasure of the Lost Lamp. Really enjoy that one. Now I have all 5 covers of the Dumbo movie, and I have them in order of when they were released. So this was the very first release in this, I guess this off-white or cream white clamshell case. It's beautiful, I love it. Then it was released in kind of a padded clamshell. If you touch it, it has a little bit of spring to it. It's kind of puffy. And I love that cover too. It looks really good. Slide these down so I can pull out the other 3. And then this was the third release, the Black Diamond. And then these were more modern. We have the Masterpiece Collection. And one more, if I can pull it out. This one is called the 60th Anniversary Edition. So there are your 5 covers for Dumbo. Really cool. Glad to have all of those. Okay. Moving along, I have the Emperor's New Groove, and this one's still sealed. You can see it was a Kmart release at one time for $17.99. Kmart does not exist anymore, and I miss that store a lot. Here's another one of my favorite releases. This is Walt Disney's Fantasia. Great movie. Very cool release. And then years later, Fantasia 2000 was released. And the last one for this shelf is called Finding Nemo, Disney Pixar. Great movie. Saw this one in the theater too. So that concludes shelf number 2. Let's move on to shelf number 3. Okay, bending down to get to shelf number 3. We have a couple of releases of my favorite Disney movie, Fox and the Hound. This is the Black Diamond on the left. And this is the Gold Collection. What a great movie. So good. I just watched this again about a couple weeks ago. I love it. It's on Blu-ray now, but it's one of my favorites. And here's another one that has a couple of different releases. It's called Fun and Fancy Free, and the one on the left is the Gold Collection. The one on the right is the 50th Anniversary Limited Edition. Here's another movie that has 2 covers. Actually, I take that back. It's 2 different movies. This one is a Goofy movie, another very fun movie. Really fun characters. And then this is an extremely Goofy movie. It's part 2 of that. Really enjoy seeing Goofy and Max together. So, moving right along, we have the Great Mouse Detective there on the left. That is a Black Diamond. And then it was re-released some years later. I don't know how many years, but it's a different cover. Same movie. Same thing with Hercules. The one on the left is the Masterpiece Edition, and that one is the Gold Collection. Same movie. And then there was a sequel. I believe there was a couple different sequels. I don't think I have them all, but this one's called Zero to Hero. 3 superhuman adventures. Next one is The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Notre Dame, however you decide to pronounce that. And The Hunchback of Notre Dame 2. James and the Giant Peach. A couple more editions of the same movie. We have the original classic, The Jungle Book, Black Diamond, and the 30th anniversary limited edition of The Jungle Book. Same movie, different covers. Followed by The Jungle Book 2. And we have Lady and the Tramp. On the left is the Black Diamond, and on the right is the Masterpiece Collection. And another sealed one. This is Lady and the Tramp 2, Scamp's Adventure, still in shrink wrap. And the next two are Lilo and Stitch and Stitch the Movie. And again, I think there may have been another sequel or two to this movie, I'm not sure. I don't have them at the moment. The next one is probably the most infamous of the Disney titles. And the one on the left, I'm not going to talk about it, but if you want to Google why the Little Mermaid cover is infamous, please feel free to do that. But there on the left is the Black Diamond, and on the right is the fully restored special edition. So that will do it for shelf 3. Let us move on to shelf number 4. So moving on to shelf number 4. I have a sequel to The Little Mermaid. It is called Return to the Sea, The Little Mermaid 2. I have a couple copies of The Lion King. The one on the left here is the Masterpiece Collection. And this is the Platinum Edition, Special Edition. Same movie, different covers. And I have a couple more for the franchise. We have Lion King 1.5 and Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. Here's another one. I believe this may have been a kids show on the Disney network, and they made a movie about it, I think. This one's called Madeline Lost in Paris. Here's another one that's still sealed. This was purchased at a Best Buy at one time for $17.99. The 50th anniversary of Melody Time. Couple editions here of Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. I'll be watching this pretty soon on Blu-ray for the time of season. But this is the original release of it. And then they released a gold collection. Same movie, different covers. And that's just sticker residue right there. I can clean that off with Goo Gone. Another cool one here called The Spirit of Mickey. I like that gold case it comes in. It's really cool. A couple different editions of Monsters, Inc. This one, I gotta stand up for a second. This one here comes in like a clear case. It's pretty cool. And then this one just comes in the traditional white clamshell. Same movie, just different packaging. Here's Mulan. A couple of Muppet movies. Some of these kind of stick together sometimes. Old sticker labels and residue on there. First one is the Muppet movie. We have Muppet Classic Theater, the Muppet Christmas Carol, and Muppet Treasure Island. Those are the four, let me see if I can get those in frame, the four Muppet movies. Okay, then after the Muppet movies, we have Oliver and Company, a couple editions of Peter Pan. The one here on the left is the Black Diamond, and the one here is the 45th Anniversary Limited Edition with the gold cover. And then we have another sealed copy. This one is Peter Pan in Return to Neverland. Pete's Dragon, half animation, half live action. And the 60th anniversary edition of Pinocchio. So that concludes shelf number 4. Let's dig into shelf number 5. Okay, so shelf number 5, we have a second copy of Pinocchio. This is a little bit different than the last one I just showed you. This was the original release here on the left, and then this was the 60th anniversary. Then we have Pocahontas. Pocahontas 2, still shrink wrapped. The Reluctant Dragon, still shrink wrapped. The Rescuers, this is the Black Diamond. Put that up there for a minute. And here is the other copy of the Rescuers. So this was the original release right here. Black Diamond, and then they re-released it some years later as the Masterpiece Collection. And then that was followed up by a sequel called The Rescuers Down Under, and this was also a Black Diamond. We have Robin Hood. This is the Black Diamond. I'm going to put this off to the side for a second so I can show you both covers, because there is a second release of that movie. So there is the first cover. Let me step aside here. And I think this was actually released before that one. This is another one of these kind of puffy clamshells. Feels real soft and springy. Oops, let me see if I can get a better viewing here for you. This one was a little harder to find. Had to pay a little extra money for that one. Those are the two different covers. I bought this one off eBay, I think, for about $10 or so. Here's Schoolhouse Rock, Grammar Rock. Every once in a while I pop this in on DVD. My favorite one is Unpack Your Adjectives. I will leave a link down below. It has such a 70s vibe to that song. It's pretty cool. It's catchy. Unpack Your Adjectives. I'm sure most of you guys remember that, or at least some of you. Here is the Platinum Edition of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Still sealed. That's a pretty good find. And then here was the re-release of it. Let me put these up side by side. So the one on the left, I believe, was the original release. And later on they re-released it as a masterpiece. So those are the two covers. This next one is a little bit harder to find sometimes. This was the hardest Black Diamond edition to find. This is Sleeping Beauty. And I think I paid about $12 for this one. It's still pretty expensive for a VHS. Some people were asking more, and again, you can determine how much you're going to pay by what the quality and condition of the movies are. This was almost in pretty good condition. It's not new or anything like that, but I think there were some sealed copies or some that were very new that were a little bit more. But this was perfectly fine for me. It's in good condition. And I'll put next to that the re-release. So here's the original. This was the re-release called the Limited Edition Masterpiece Collection. This one is pretty much worthless, but this one's worth a couple bucks. Then we have 4 different editions of another one of my favorites. Put these up here so you can see them side by side. This is Sword, The Sword in the Stone. And this is the original release. This was the very first pressing in that white clamshell Black Diamond. That's the hardest one to find out of these 4. And that was the first Black Diamond. They re-released it as another Black Diamond. This was the second release of it, but this one's more rare, the first one. Again, don't confuse rare with expensive or worth a lot of money. Here's the Masterpiece Collection. And here's the Gold Collection. And I'll step back and let you take those in, if you can see those. It's harder to see that one because it's some waves in the plastic and the light reflects, but there you go. There are the 4 copies of The Sword in the Stone. Very fun movie. Next one up is Tarzan. And Tarzan and Jane, and I think there may be another one, maybe, or possibly 2 to this little Tarzan franchise, but I'm not sure. Here is a sealed copy of the 3 Caballeros. And the last one for shelf 5 is the Tigger movie. So we will move on to shelving unit number 2, and we're going to start again at the top shelf and work our way down. So stick around for that. Okay, so I'm kind of in cramped quarters here, but we'll make this work. We will be very comfortable here. Let's see. Slide these down just a little bit. So we have a little bit more of animation that goes all the way up to here, and starting with 101 Dalmatians with Glenn Close. That will start our live action. So the first 2 are the same movie with different covers. The one on the right was the first release of Toy Story, and then it was re-released as a gold collection special edition. Very fun movies. I love these movies. And I have Toy Story 2. Don't know if they ever released Toy Story 3 on VHS or if that was already on DVD by that point. I have all of these on Blu-ray anyway, but I do like to collect all this stuff. I have Treasure Planet, more modern Disney animation. I have a couple of Winnie the Pooh movies. I stuck them all together. So we have The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. I think Winnie the Pooh is probably my least favorite Disney character. And we have Pooh's Grand Adventure, The Search for Christopher Robin. And this is a short, I think, Winnie the Pooh, Spookable Pooh. This is probably, yeah, it says 33 minutes running time. So back in the day, I'm going to pull one of these off here for a second. Back when they were releasing these white clamshell cases, these were the original releases. And these padded releases, these were like among the first. They also had a line called the Limited Gold Edition, and I think they had two different lines. They had Limited Gold Edition 1 and Limited Gold Edition 2. And they have a couple of these. These are really nice. They're very heavy. They came in this, these are very dusty. These were all used, and I haven't really done much of cleaning on these. But they're very heavy cases, very heavy editions. This one's called Life with Mickey. And I actually have two of these. They're hard to find. I ordered 4 of them online, and I found one in a thrift shop. These are the same exact movie. I have 2 of them, and I would be willing to trade one of them. Then there was also one called The World According to Goofy. They're pretty cool. They're dirty and they're old, but these were pretty sharp back in the day when these were released. Here's one called Disney's Best, the Fabulous 50s. This was from the original Gold Edition 1. The other 3 were from the Gold Edition 2. These were later releases than this one. And I thought this one was pretty cool. How the Best Was Won, 1933 to 1960. And then I have a couple of more oldies here. These are the white clamshells. This one's pretty expensive now too. I think you can probably get this one for 10 to 15 bucks or more, depending on the condition. Definitely wanted to have that in the collection. I didn't put that with the A's on the other side because I'm kind of keeping these together, even though I kept the Dumbo ones together. This one's called Sport Goofy, Volume 4. I remember way back in the day renting these. There was a whole bunch of different Disney VHS titles you can get. And this one's called On Vacation with Mickey Mouse and Friends. Pretty cool. So that was the finale for the animated. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. But we're not done yet, because we're going to go through the live action, which isn't very many of them. I think there's 3 shelves, or 2.5 shelves, but the first one is Glenn Close as Cruella de Vil in 101 Dalmatians. Cute little buggers. There's 102 Dalmatians. Then I have some Air Bud movies. Here's the original Air Bud. Then there was, I don't know what order these were in, I just kind of stuck them up here. You have Air Bud Golden Receiver. I'll put them all up so we can pan them at the end. Air Bud 7th Inning Fetch. And the last one that I have, don't know if there's more, is Air Bud World Pup. So there are the 4 Air Bud movies. If there are more, you guys can let me know. But that will do it for shelf number 1 on cabinet number 2. So let's get into shelf number 2. Okay, so shelf number 2 it is, and the first one is called Angels in the Outfield. Danny Glover and Christopher Lloyd, Tony Danza. Annie. Here's one called the Film Classics, the Comedy Favorites Series, Volume 3, The Absent-Minded Professor. And here is the Don Knotts Collection, Volume 1, The Apple Dumpling Gang. Tim Conway and Don Knotts. Looks like Bill Bixby is also in there. The original Incredible Hulk. Blank Check. John Candy in Cool Run-Ins. John Candy right there on the spine. There he is also up there. And we have Darby O'Gill and the Little People. Robin Williams in Flubber. That was a fun movie. Robin Williams is sorely missed. He was such a great comedian. Here's one called Frank and Ollie, about some of the best animators. These guys were very close friends with Walt. This one's still sealed too, by the way. I have this on DVD. This is a really good documentary. I think this is on the back. Walt called them the Circle of 9 Old Men or something like that. I could be wrong about the number. But Walt had a tight ring of animators. And these two guys were two of the best. Next one's called Gordy. Eddie Murphy in The Haunted Mansion. I was a little bit disappointed about this movie, but it's still fun. Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey. Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco. Rick Moranis in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And a sequel called Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. The Kurt Russell Collection, Volume 3, The Horse in the Gray Flannel Suit. You can see how young Kurt Russell was, probably maybe 12 years old or so, 10 to 12 back then. There's a movie called The Incredible Journey. Matthew Broderick in Inspector Gadget. Grew up watching a cartoon. I don't think I've ever seen the movies. Here's French Stewart as Inspector Gadget 2. Another sealed copy. This one's called Iron Will. True life story of courage, determination, and triumph. Chevy Chase and Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Man of the House. And the last one for shelf 2 is the live action The Jungle Book. So that concludes shelf number 2. Let's move on to shelf number 3, and I think this will be the last one. Okay, so I got myself a chair because I'm at kind of an awkward angle here in the corner of the room. But here is part 2 of the live action Jungle Book. It's called the second Jungle Book, Mowgli and Baloo. Mowgli and Baloo. And I think this is either a part 3 or just like another rendition of it called the Jungle Book, Mowgli's Story. We have Tim Allen in Jungle to Jungle. Really enjoy Tim Allen. I think he's great. I really loved his last sitcom that he did called Last Man Standing, and I think it's canceled now, but I watched the reruns of that show, and I swear I laugh out loud every episode. If you guys haven't seen Tim Allen in The Last Man Standing, it's definitely worthy of a watch. Next one's called Mary Poppins, the Masterpiece Collection. And so I'm missing the Mighty Ducks Part 1, and I've been looking for that for a while now. I could easily order it off eBay, but I'm trying to find it out in the wild where I found these two. I have D2 and D3. And I always see these. These are out there quite a bit. I never see the Mighty Ducks Part 1, but I'll find it someday. But here's D2, the Mighty Ducks. And here's D3. This one's still sealed. You know, they were selling it for $16.99 at Kmart back in the day, and I picked up for $2 at Goodwill, still sealed. Here's a tearjerker. I'll probably never watch this one again. It's a good movie, but it's my eyes got pretty wet when I watched this movie. It's a sad movie. The 40th anniversary limited edition of Old Yeller. I'm a big dog person. I don't like to see dogs harmed. No dogs were harmed in the filming of that movie, but the story is very sad. Here's Oliver Twist. This is the one with Elijah Wood. This and Richard Dreyfuss. This isn't the best Oliver Twist. There are some other ones that are much better. There was this is probably like the 3rd or 4th rendition of the original Oliver Twist. Some of the earlier ones are much better. Here's the Haley Mills collection, The Parent Trap. Anne Hathaway. And Julie Andrews, of course. The Princess Diaries. And the Princess Diaries 2, Royal Engagement. Here's another old one, the old cream-colored clamshell case. This is Pollyanna. Really nice, clean copy. I bought this at a thrift shop. It's almost like new. Whoever had it must have took really, really good care of it. Here is the Comedy Favorites series, The Shaggy Dog. Cuba Gooding Jr., Snow Dogs. Here's another one that's sealed. So Dear to My Heart. It's half animation and half live action. They were selling it at, do you guys remember Farmore? $12.95. I think they closed up all the Farmores in the early 90s. Here's Swiss Family Robinson. And I have another copy of the same movie. This one is called The Vault Disney Collection. Really nice edition. And this one's called the Family Film Collection. Same movie, just 2 different covers. See if I can get a better. It's hard to. There we go. one is called Tall Tale. I don't know anything about this movie. It's called The Unbelievable Adventure and stars Patrick Swayze, Scott Glenn, and Oliver Platt. And I know nothing about the movie. I don't own this on DVD or Blu-ray, but I should probably grab it and check it out because I always enjoy Swayze. He was a great actor. He really was. And it's a shame about what happened to him. Here's another Haley Mills collection, That Darn Cat. Haley Mills was a huge child star back in the day. Here's Whispers, An Elephant Tale. And I never even knew this one existed. I saw it at a thrift shop and I grabbed it. Here's one called A Day at the Magic Kingdom. I think this is a little documentary about some of the attractions and things that you can do if you decide to go to the Magic Kingdom for vacation. Here's one called The Walt Disney Story. This one's still sealed. I like how they have his signature as part of the title. It looks really cool. Man, I wish that was a real signature, but it's just a print. It says here, not for individual sale. I think I picked this up on eBay in a lot. And this is only a 25-minute black and white and color. Little, it says, for anyone who has ever wished upon a star, the Walt Disney Story is an inspiration. So it's a little story about Walt, a little 25-minute documentary, probably. I haven't watched it yet. And I have Tom and Huck. Remember when Jonathan Taylor Thomas was the thing? He was in every movie back in the, I'll say, late 90s. He came back as a recurring character in the Tim Allen show that was called Last Man Standing. In that show, Tim Allen had 3 daughters, and they were always kind of bumping heads, mostly about politics and things like that. It was definitely social commentary. Tim Allen was a very big conservative, like he is in real life, like I am in real life. I kind of relate to him because I have daughters of my own, and they have different ideas, and as kids do, as they get older, they have their own minds and their own way of seeing things, and that's the way it should be. But anyway, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, now he's grown up, and he had a recurring role. I can't remember what his role was, but he was in the show a few times. And that's the thing about Tim Allen, is he brought a lot of his home improvement castmates in to do little cameos on his show. It was really, really good. If I can find that on DVD, Last Man Standing, I'll definitely pick that up. The last one for this shelf is called The Three Musketeers, starring Charlie Sheen, Kiefer Sutherland, Chris O'Donnell, Oliver Platt, Tim Curry, and Rebecca De Mornay. There you have it. So that will do it. Although I do have, actually, you know what? These are not Disney, but I'm going to go through them with you guys anyways. These are just some other animated movies that I really like, but they're not Disney, but I keep them over here on this shelf. And slide these down a little bit. I have The Land Before Time. Another very tragic story. If you guys have never heard of the young girl, I think her name was Judy Barsi, Barsi. She was the voice of one of the lead characters in here. I think it was Ducky. I could be wrong about that. But I'm not going to tell you guys what happened to her, because it's a terrible, terrible story. But if you guys are curious, you can Google it. Judith, Judith, Barsi, I believe it is Barsi. And you can read about her sad little story. It's terrible. She was in part 1. She was only, I think she was like 8 years old or something like that. The Land Before Time 2, The Great Valley Adventure. I don't mean to end this on a sad note like that, but every time I think of Land Before Time, it makes me feel like crying when I think about that young girl. The Land Before Time 3, the time of the Great Giving. The Land Before Time 4, Journey Through the Mists. The Land Before Time 5, The Mysterious Island. These are great movies. I have these on DVD in a box set. But they've made more since that box set was released, so I haven't picked up any of the ones that were released after I bought the box set. Here's the Land Before Time 6, The Secret of Saurus Rock. Here's the Land Before Time 7, The Stone of Cold Fire. Here's the Big Freeze. Here's Journey to Big Water. Here's part 10, The Great Long Neck Migration. I think this is where it ends in the box set, and anything after that I'll have to pick up. It's part 11, Invasion of the Tiny Sauruses. So that was it for Land Before Time. I have Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. A couple of these fell over. I have Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. That's the best Scooby-Doo, I think. Because if you guys are big Scooby-Doo fans and you haven't seen Zombie Island, check it out. It's pretty cool. Pretty good. Scooby-Doo meets the Boo Brothers. Scooby-Doo's Greatest Mysteries. Now keep in mind, I don't go out of my way to collect these. If I see these in a thrift shop for a good price, I'll pull the trigger on them. But there are a lot I'm missing, but it's not like I'm hunting these down, trying to get them all. I grab them if I see them. Scooby-Doo's Creepiest Capers. One of the best movies ever made. The Never-Ending Story. Love that movie. Seen it so many times. That was one of the movies I taped off of HBO back in the day and watched it over and over and over. And the Never-Ending Story 2, the next chapter. I'm going to pause it for a minute, put some of the stuff back, and we'll go through some of the doubles I have in case you guys are interested in a trade. Okay, so if you guys are still with me, I appreciate you guys watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and please feel free to leave any suggestions down below. Let me know which ones I'm missing, or if there's anything you want to trade for. So for the live action doubles I have, these are all in really good condition. I wouldn't trade anything that I wouldn't want in my own collection. Gordy, D3, The Mighty Ducks, and Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. Those are the live action. Then coming over here to the animated stuff. These are all doubles. The Tigger movie, DuckTales, the movie Treasure of the Lost Lamp, James and the Giant Peach, Dinosaur, the Great Mouse Detective, and then I have some classics, some of the Black Diamonds, The Rescuers, 101 Dalmatians, Fox and the Hound, Aladdin, the Three Caballeros, the Fox and the Hound, Fantasia, and then you can look here along the back and see that I have, these are in really, really good condition. I don't buy them unless I want them in my collection, so got a couple Bambis, a couple Lion Kings. I'm going to slide these over. I have some more Black Diamonds here. Move some of these over here so we can get a better viewing. Actually, you know what? I'll just show you these first and then I'll pile those over here. Actually, that should be over by the live action, but what difference does it make? Some Snow Whites. The Little Mermaid. I have a couple of these. This is the band cover, and you guys can look up why. I'm not going to talk about that here. But those were going for, at one time, like over $100 when those first came out. Now you can get them for like 10 bucks, I think, or so. But some more over here. Some more Black Diamond. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you made it this far, type down in the comments section hashtag Disney. That'll just kind of give me a wink and a nod that you guys are actually watching all the way through, and if you are, I really do appreciate it. Stay tuned. I do have some things coming for the Black Friday sale, so I'll be doing a video on that probably like within the next couple weeks once everything comes in. What else was I gonna say? There was something else I was gonna mention. I guess I can't think of it right now, but yeah, but sometimes I get long-winded, so anyway, we'll do this again in about a year, and we'll see how much this has grown from now until a year from now. Other than that, I'm not going to do these Disney VHS videos anymore until another year is up. So I just wanted to get everything kind of situated here and show you guys what I have. So anyway, take care. I will see you guys next time. Later.